You never even loved me.
I thought that things were moving way too quick in the sense that she took a decision without consulting me. She went and gave a deposit fee without my consent, without my knowledge.
I am suing my ex-girlfriend for $1,000 because she lied to me. She told me that she would move in with me, and she didn't, and she left me for somebody else.
Now, where does this $1,000 come into play?
So, I put a holding fee down as a deposit, and it was $2,000, and I was only sent back $1,000 after I told the landlord that I would not be moving in.
Okay, how long were you together?
We were together for almost 2 years.
Okay, so together 2 years. Now, why is she telling the court that she believed that y'all were going to move into an apartment together? She put $2,000 down to hold this apartment, and that you left her high and dry.
Well, I am as surprised as anyone here. We talked about moving in together eventually, maybe one day. We had ideas about it.
Okay.
And I went away to see my family for a week over to San Diego.
Okay.
And when I was gone, she toured an apartment without my knowledge, and she put down a holding fee without my consent. And now she is charging me for that.
But we had been talking about it for 6 months, about moving in together. We were shopping together for stuff to share at the apartment.
So, Ms. Garcia, you're telling me that y'all were together for, you said, 2 years?
Yes.
In a romantic partnership?
Yes.
But you had your own places?
Yes.
The whole time? Okay, so where would she get an idea, ma'am, that y'all were ready to put down a deposit and sign a lease? Because that's what she's telling the court.
I think she just got way too excited, way too ahead of herself. Honestly, we never really actually discussed the fact that we were gonna compromise to moving in together, and it really came as a surprise to me.
Did you want to move in with her?
Yeah, maybe eventually. I mean, we had been together for around 2 years.
Okay, so why are y'all no longer together today? Because it sounds like if it was getting ready to move in together time, it was going well. Or
Well,
was the relationship going well, Ms. Garcia?
It was,
Okay.
yeah. But I actually reconnected with an old friend when I was back home.
Right.
Nothing really happened. Honestly, I did not cheat on Grace. I would never.
Yeah, right.
You went on a date, Ms. Garcia.
I wouldn't say it was a date,
Was
actually.
it you and a group of people?
No.
It was you and one other woman?
one other man.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So you identify as bisexual?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Your Honor.
Baby, he's not what you think. He's a man.
Oh, I did not see that coming. It was with a man.
So you go on this date, but you say nothing physical happened. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Now, you still in contact with this friend today?
In occasion, we do text.
And did Miss Lee know about this friendly drink date situation?
Not at all.
You broke up with her?
Yes.
And why did you break up with her?
Well, I figured I did not want to mislead the situation to myself or to her and continue with a relationship that I wasn't fully into anymore.
And it took, and I'm not judging, but I'm just trying to be honest here and clear with the court. It took you seeing this gentleman that you have known, have history with, to realize that you really weren't as into Miss Lee as you thought you were. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
I haven't heard any of my gay friends
I've
use
never
this
heard
phrase.
this from any gay person. No.
Were you surprised?
I was completely blindsided. I had no idea. I was in love with this wonderful woman, and she just came back and changed her mind like that.
Miss Lee, is the court to understand then that you went about sourcing apartments for you and your girlfriend alone, and then you thought, without her consent or even looking at this apartment, that it was smart to put down a $2,000 deposit?
Yes, because it was right where we had been looking for other apartments, and the price was very affordable, and I kind of wanted to keep it as a surprise, as I know that she...
Surprise, I got us an apartment?
Well, our relationship is full of surprises. We always do nice
Well,
things
I
for
think
each
that's
other.
a hell of a surprise, Miss Lee,
Yes.
because it's so important, and you're making all these decisions unilaterally. Do you see that there's an issue there?
But
Oh, surprise. Here, I just got us a baby. Surprise, I just bought us a house. Surprise, I just invested all of our money in cryptocurrency, and now we are in lots of debt, and now we're never going to be able to recover, and now you're stuck with me forever.
before she left to go visit her family, she seemed very eager to move in. I have the messages.
Okay, so yeah, let's get to the evidence. Go, Miss Lee, give my bailiff all of your evidence.
Yes.
Entire folder, please.
The entire folder, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I can understand. Because I want to hear what you're saying, Miss Lee, but it needs to make sense. Okay. Back in September, this is actually you, Miss Garcia, saying to your then girlfriend, I want a rug like this. She says, I love that. We're going to have the cutest place. You do say, can't wait. This is from Miss Garcia. Hey, babe, did I leave my sweater at your place? You say, Miss Lee, yes, it's in my room. I'll bring it back tonight. You say, Miss Garcia, thanks. It would be so much easier if all of our stuff was in one place. Miss Lee says, soon enough it will be. This is you this time starting, Miss Lee. Can't wait to spend the whole night looking at apartments that we know we can't afford, LOL, then you, Miss Garcia, girl can dream. Maybe we should look at some we can actually consider. You say can't wait to live with you one day, and you do send her a smiley face. You understand that that undermines your whole argument you're making in court today, Ms. Garcia, because by you saying, let's be more practical, that makes this woman believe that it's more likely to really happen.
Yes, we did discuss the idea of moving in together eventually, but I never agreed, neither verbally or in text or in
I
any
understand
sort of...
that, but Ms. Garcia, you do have to understand that words matter, right? And once you're starting to create a fantasy of this life, of this beautiful apartment, and let's do this rug, and let's do this paint color, and wouldn't this be so cute and great and convenient, I'm starting to get a sense that you just looked at Miss Lee like a person of convenience, and that this whole relationship started to be one of convenience.
I was with her for 2 years, and I wouldn't have if I didn't actually love her and want to be with her. But I thought that things were moving way too quick in the sense that she took a decision without consulting me. She went and gave a deposit fee without my consent, without my knowledge,
Okay,
and
well,
that
let's
to me is
talk about-
betrayal.
Okay, you said a betrayal.
I mean, of our trust, yeah.
Okay.
Betrayal of your trust.
All right, so what do you say about that, Ms. Garcia? What do you say about the fact that this woman is telling the court, and she's asking me to order you to pay her $1,000 because this whole thing was your fault? She's saying that but for you, winky face, smiley face, let's do it, can't wait, but for you leading her down that ideology, she would have never done such a thing.
Yes, maybe eventually I would have loved to move in with her and go and tour the apartment together, and I would have been like completely okay with giving that deposit fee together. But it is the fact that she didn't consult me and that she did it on her own that's what's bothering me, and
How do
that's
you
why
okay.
I don't think it's fair for her to be here demanding me to pay money I didn't agree to in the first place.
Okay, Ms. Garcia. Ms. Lee, what is your response to that? What do you say to the fact that despite a fairly convincing case that you have made about the road that you were being led down to believe in this fantasy of cohabitation with you and this woman that you love, she didn't agree to anything. She didn't look at this apartment. She didn't sign anything. She didn't even verbally via text say, yes, let's do this. Because this was all kind of hypothetical in terms of what you have presented to the court today. The fact is that you did on your own accord go look at this unit. You made the decision that it was the perfect location. She might not have even thought that. Who knows? You said it was the perfect location. You said it was the right price point. You. See the pattern here?
I see the pattern, but I will say that Farah also looked at listings with me that were very similar in terms of location, and I don't know, it seemed like it was perfect when I was there. I could
It
feel
seemed like she
a
was
life-
making all the decisions for me.
Okay. I got it from here, Ms. Garcia. Go ahead, Ms.
No,
Lee.
I just feel like it was perfect. It had a little park outside. There was a common room area. It had everything we were looking for. It was good size, and I just feel like I loved it so much, and I could totally see us having a future there.
Right.
Yeah, and she.
Okay. I hear you, Ms. Lee. I do believe the court is ready to rule here. Here's what's unfortunate. I do believe that at one point in time, you two ladies had a loving and mutually agreed upon relationship. And I think, as happens often in matters of the heart, one of you kind of fell out of love with the other at a different pace. That's what happened. I don't think that Ms. Garcia did this deliberately to hurt you. I really don't. I do think that she probably stayed in it a little too long, matter of fact. I think that Ms. Lee, I'm delivering my ruling. And I'm telling you something that I know you don't want to hear, which is why you keep trying to interrupt me. But you need to hear this. You need to hear that a woman that you loved, and that I do believe loved you back at one point, simply grew apart. But you'll never know true love. You'll never have the benefit of your happily ever after unless you are willing to take the risk of the pain you're feeling right now. So the court empathizes with you deeply. I truly do. I have been where you are. I think most of us in this room have at one particular point nor time. The problem with your legal case, though, is that you're asking this court to make her pay essentially really for your pain and suffering. You want her to pay for the fact that you got carried away with your idealized version of what the relationship was going to play out like, when all she kind of gave you was a maybe someday sort of kind of we'll see. That's all she gave you, Ms. Lee. She didn't look at the actual unit. Only you did. She didn't approve of the actual unit. Only you did. And she didn't put $1 towards the unit. Only you did. So unfortunately, Ms. Lee, the court is going to have to dismiss your case and chalk up your $1,000 expense as the cost of a lesson learned. That is my ruling.
All right.
Wow, I do feel a little bit bad for her. I do, but the judge is right, and I have to agree with this. You know, maybe she deep down was feeling maybe a pull away or something like that, and she thought, oh, maybe if I get this apartment, then everything will be okay. You know, maybe everything will come together, and it will like make her realize, oh, we are gonna do this, and we're gonna commit. You it's really, really sad, but, it is a lesson learned. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.